Today we're gonna make cotopolo me prasa, which is chicken and leeks. I'm Nikki Gleckis, and this is Nikki's Modern Mediterranean. To get started, first we're gonna clean our leeks. So leeks are a delicious vegetable, but very dirty. So you have to really make sure that you clean each layer to get all the dirt out. So how we're gonna do that today is we're gonna start, we're gonna cut off the ends, discard those. We don't need those. And most of the dirt is in the first couple layers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a small knife and just gently cut the first, I don't wanna cut through, I just wanna cut the first layer off and get this layer off completely. Because this is where all the dirt is, you could see that. We wanna get all of those off. So we're gonna cut a couple of these off. Again, be careful, you don't wanna cut through. You just wanna make sure that we're just taking off that layer. So, see all that gross dirt? We're gonna do a couple more right here. And of course, we're gonna wash these too, but we're gonna cut those off. So I'm gonna probably do about 4 of these layers, cut them off. That one comes off, and now this is the more tender part of the leek. So I'm gonna take these off. The top here is a little bit hard, so I'm cutting that one off. Now we're gonna cut in about 2 inches, so 2-inch pieces. So I have 4 of these, okay? So now, next step is we're gonna rinse it in a bowl of warm water here. And what we're gonna do to really get all the layers of the dirt out, we're gonna take the center of this leek right here that you could see, and we're gonna gently press it like this to get all the layers, and then rinse all that dirt out. And that way, we're gonna press that back in and do it again on the other side. And this will make sure that our nice, big, thick pieces of leeks are staying intact, but we're getting all the dirt out. I'm also gonna soak it in more water, but at least I got all the layers out there. So I'm gonna leave that in the water. So we're doing this for each one of our pieces of leek. So when you're serving this dish, we're gonna use 4 pieces of chicken breast, and we're gonna slice them in half. So really we're making 8 smaller pieces of chicken, and I'm also making 8 nice pieces of leeks that we're gonna put on top. So now I have all of our leeks cleaned. You could see the dirt at the bottom of this bowl, but now our leeks are nice and clean, and we're gonna throw them into our stock pot to make our sauce. We're gonna add our leeks to our pot, and we're gonna cover them with about 6 cups of water. Just enough water to cover our vegetables. Put that on high heat. 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter. 1/2 cup of white wine. 2 tablespoons of chicken base. Dilute that in the water. And we're gonna let this come to a nice simmer, and we're gonna cover it and let it continue simmering for about 20 minutes until our leeks are fork tender. For our chicken, we're gonna use 4 chicken breasts. We're gonna cut them in half because we wanna pan fry them, so you don't want them so thick. So we're gonna cut these in half. When you're working with chicken, really make sure that this knife and your cutting board are gonna go in the dishwasher, and we really sanitize the counter before touching anything else. So we're gonna cut these in half, and this will really help with cooking them quicker. Now we have 8 chicken fillets. I'm actually gonna move them right over here. I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we're gonna get started with pounding out our chicken. So to pound out our chicken, I've laid down some saran wrap on top of my cutting board. You can use parchment paper as well. I'm gonna lay our chicken down here. So we really need to tenderize this chicken. It's gonna help with the flavor, it's gonna help with cooking, and cooking it evenly, because we wanna pound out the fatter parts of the chicken. So put this down, And I'm going to put another piece of saran wrap down on top. So that way, when we're pounding out our chicken, we don't have chicken juice flying all over the place. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, I'll do that too, and then I'm all dirty. So now that we have it covered, we're gonna pound down our chicken. Make sure you always get the fatter part of the chicken, the meatier part, so we can tenderize that. Get out all your anger from the day. Pound that one. Okay. Flip it. One more time. By the time you get your chicken ready and frying, your leeks will be ready. So you have those on the stove. Cover that again. Pound them out one more time. Perfect. Now we're ready to flour chicken and get it ready to pan fry. I have to go wash my hands again, and then I'll salt and pepper the chicken. Salt our chicken, little salt, little pepper on both sides. Some people add the salt and pepper to the flour, but I just like to do it directly onto the meat. I'm gonna do a little salt here too. Now we're gonna flour it. So this is just lightly flouring the chicken, both sides. Shake off any excess. And I'm gonna put it right here in this pan. And I'll take it over to the stove to pan fry it. So we're just gonna lightly flour that. Shake that off. And this dish is, the sauce that we're making with the leeks. To me, I love the leeks. I love the flavor of them. But if you didn't like leeks, you can easily make this with other vegetables too. Sometimes you can add artichokes if you like, and it's the same preparation. You're making the same sauce, but just changing the vegetable instead of the leeks. So you can also make a great sauce just like we're making today, but add some capers, something else that would add a green to the dish. So this is ready. We're gonna go over to the stove and pan fry them. So we're ready to pan fry our chicken. You can use canola or vegetable oil. Once our chicken has a nice golden brown color and we've checked the internal temperature to be 160, or you could just cut it a little slice in there to make sure that it's fully cooked, you can remove this chicken from the pan, shaking off any excess oil, and we're gonna put it right into a serving platter. We've cooked our chicken, and now we're gonna check our leeks. So our leeks are completely cooked. Checked it with a fork. You can see them right in here. I'm gonna take the leeks out. Oh, they're nice and soft too. Take that leeks out, take them, and I'm gonna put one right on top of each chicken piece. And I'm only doing that because I know that I've cut 8 pieces and I have 8 pieces of chicken. A nice sweet flavor, the leeks. They're nice and tender. And once we remove them out of this, we're gonna be able to make our sauce a little bit thicker now. So I've removed all the leeks out of this sauce. So I'm gonna put it back onto medium heat. And next I'm gonna do cornstarch slurry. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in 1/4 cup of cold water. Dissolve that. I'm gonna whisk that into this. To thicken up our sauce a little. And I'm gonna put it back onto the heat just so that it can cook the cornstarch and thicken the sauce a little. So our sauce is ready. I'm gonna put this, ladle it right on top of our chicken and leeks. Nice flavor to our chicken. There we go. And if you serve this with a starch, rice, or even a potato. I mean, I normally serve this with rice, and then I would use this broth to go on the rice as well. And this dish is ready. For this recipe, visit nikkigluckus.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.